This mutation is called Coordinated Defense, and it is being played on the Vermillion Problem. We have two mutators active. We have Polarity, and we have Missile Command. So, Polarity. Let's talk about Polarity first. Polarity is a really difficult mutator to deal with, and I know it is not very popular because I do know some people that do enjoy doing the weekly mutations on the random queue, and when you have a mutator like Polarity active, it means that both people need to be in pretty much tip-top shape to be able to deal with the mutation and complete it. Otherwise, you're just taking a lot of unnecessary damage. Now, the one thing that these two commanders have going for them is the fact that because there's Missile Command active, both these commanders have access to a way of dealing with the nuclear missiles, assuming that they are not trying to basically use their cooldowns. So in terms of static defense, Tychus has access to his auto turrets, and Karax has access to his Cardaran monoliths, and that will allow them to be able to take out some of the missiles, especially the nuclear missiles, just by putting down some static defense. Now, one of the things that is somewhat problematic is that Tychus' turrets are not really that good for dealing with the Missile Command. Now, in the early stages of the game, the Missile Command mutators just send the regular standard missiles towards players' bases, and this is the one that I've been trying to show throughout the course of this mission, so this has been okay. But later on, the commanders will start getting hit by the splitter missiles, and the splitter missiles actually deal a lot of damage to Tychus' turrets, and they are able to pretty much destroy Tychus' auto turrets. So that is one thing that is going to be a little bit of a challenge for Tychus. But when it comes to Polarity, one of the things Tychus has going for him is the fact that his outlaws can actually soak up at least a lot of damage, while his ally can clear out the rest of the attack wave. So, he has the ability to be able to tank some of the damage, unlike some of the other commanders who end up inevitably losing units as a result of Polarity. Now, let's have a look at the masteries while these players are getting ready for the next phase of the mission. We have 30 points into the Structure HP Mastery, we have 15 into the Repair Beam Chrono Wave, and we have 30 points in the Spear of Adun Energy Mastery. And for Tychus, we have Tychus Attack Speed with the Tri Outlaw and 10 points into the Outlaw Spawn Mastery, and we have 20 and 10 here. Now, personally for these ones, I do prefer to go for the Tri Outlaw Mastery completely. I don't know if the Outlaw Spawn Mastery might provide any kind of value to these commanders, or at least to Tychus, and I'm not really sure about this one as well. I normally straight go for the 30 points into the medevac cooldown. I find the medevac to be a little bit more useful. And for Karax, this may have been some kind of optimization. Both of these masteries aren't really very good, they're pretty junk, but when it comes to Karax's masteries, I use the Spear of Adun a lot more aggressively, so I do tend to use the Chrono Wave Energy Regeneration instead of the Repair Beam Mastery. You can see that already Karax is starting to cannon push this area, and obviously he will need to do that because Tychus is unable to clear this completely by himself. So you can see Karax using a few orbital strikes to start to take out some of the higher priority targets. Now, the one thing I have not been able to do is figure out a way of fast expanding on this map as Karax by using only the Spear of Adun abilities. So remember that the fast expand guides are available on this YouTube channel and on Starcraft2coop.com's Karax page for pretty much a good chunk of the maps that we have, so Chain of Ascension and things like that. But I was not able to do it for this map with the limit that I have to spend only a maximum of 100 energy to clear the expansion. So if anyone does have an idea on how to do that without cannon pushing, obviously, it's just pure 100 energy Spear of Adun, and do let me know and I can have a look into it. But I don't think there is a way to fast expand the Karax on this map with just the Spear of Adun abilities. I believe the Cannon Rush is pretty much the only way, and you can see that this is the one thing that does cause a problem. I'll try and show you guys some of the point defense missiles that are there. They're basically point defense drones that are turned around by 90 degrees. So they accompany missiles and they will shoot your projectile attacks. And you might be wondering why those cannons not randomly attack the missiles that are going their way. And the reason for that is that the Missile Command mutator does have Polarity as well. So Polarity does apply to these missiles. You can see this cannon here, it was unable to take out that one pylon, is because Polarity does apply. Now, strangely enough, the icon for the shields do not appear onto these missiles, so you can't really tell which one is yours unless you're really paying attention, but it means that you do end up eating a lot of damage that you would not normally be expecting to eat. So one thing that Karax has going for him is the fact that he has his Repair Beam Master, and you can see that was pretty much one of the first upgrades that was being researched for Karax, and that is going to provide a lot of value. And this is the one thing I really wish Blizzard would do with the replay files and with the co-op in general, is just to show how much HP was healed by the Repair Beam, because when you are dealing with mutators like this, I think it would be really cool to see how much the Repair Beam has healed the allies, because the Spear of Adoom's Repair Beam is going to be doing a lot of work. You see already there have been a few losses in some of the cannons. Total losses so far are only 2 cannons. 2 cannons, I think these were the 2 cannons that were in this spot here that got wiped by an attack wave. There is a random Corruptor that is peeing on Karax's expansion. And there's also a few pings over there, so there's a few more orbital strikes this here, and some drones as well stealing from Tychus's mineral line. And now Tychus will start clearing out the one extractor, and he will clean up the rest as well. He kills off the Corruptor and also cleans up the second extractor. So far, all the crystals have been picked up, so it's not really too bad. These drones are just BMing Tychus right now. Those drones finally end up getting picked off by the big laser beam in the sky, and we are nearing the next lava surge phase. And a few more drones here. Some of these drones will end up getting killed off by these cannons, but remember that these things have polarity, so the cannon cannot it cannot aggro everything, and a few more drones as well that are being sent to start mining out of Tychus's base. Now you might be wondering, this is not very impactful, but these drones will actually stop you mining from your mineral line, so it does slow down your economy, and it's usually in your best interest to try and clear. You can see just how much this point defense missile is just drawing a lot of the shots away from these photon cannons, and this is why you need to have hit scan structures, or go and actively engage them with units that do have hit scan attacks. So Kaidaran Monoliths, you can see already Kaidaran Monoliths being put down, and this will help Tychus and Karax handle the subsequent missile waves that are coming up. And you can see Tychus has already also put down some of his auto turrets. It does mean that he has a little bit less money for upgrades, but it's usually always better to do so. We have some shield batteries as well. Karax has gotten the Protoss Shields level 1 upgrade already, and I think pretty much all the upgrades that are needed for the... Yeah, so Karax is doing pretty much a full static defense build, and Tychus will be pushing in to try and clear these crystals and these areas out. We have a Purifier beam now that is dropped. There is also a nuke that is being dropped in this area, so remember, this might seem like it's overkill, but both these commanders, there is polarity active, so this Purifier beam is not going to be able to kill off everything. So whatever is left now, Tychus can clean up with the Odin and his outlaws, while Karax cleans up with the Spear of Adoom ability. So far, not really too bad. The Spear of Adoom energy is getting a little bit high, so I'd like to see Karax spam a little bit more to just bring that Spear of Adoom energy down a little bit to maybe about 150. And now Karax might actually have his chance because there's an attack wave coming. There is a ping right now. Tychus gets into position, and we have some energy being used now by the Spear of Adoom. So Spear of Adoom is now down to about 193 energy. But remember that he is already sitting at solar efficiency level 2. He's rushing out to Spear of Adoom upgrades. He does want to get those upgrades as quickly as possible, which is again really, really good because the Spear of Adoom is where Karax's strength lies in. So we have a few more orbital strikes coming out, and I think, yeah, so these aberrations are also getting the good clean. There's one random Zergling that is still alive there that's nibbling away onto this one turret. I do not know if Karax has noticed it. Oh, he puts down some cannons, and then those cannons do end up cleaning out that one Zergling as well. There is also now a Chrono Wave available for Karax to use, but as far as Karax's upgrades goes, he's already sitting at level 2 upgrades. He is probably going to end up researching his level 3 shield upgrades. And the shield upgrades are the only upgrade that are available in the Forge that also affect your regular units, that affect your static defenses. Your attack upgrades and your armor upgrades do not affect your static defense, but your shield upgrades do. So your cannons will thank you greatly for getting these shield upgrades. You can see here the armor value has been increased by the shield upgrade. So very good to have, especially if you're doing a static defense build. You're not really short on the gas, especially because most of your damage output will be coming from the photon cannons. You might as well use the extra gas to get your shield upgrades, and just makes your cannons a little bit tankier. And now the fun part of the mission has begun, and we have nuclear missiles on the way. There is a highlight, or there is a clip somewhere of me streaming and me getting nuked by a missile as I was looking at the missile and trying to figure out, will it nuke me? There's a clip of it somewhere on my Twitch channel. So nuclear missiles, they're always special and they're always close to everybody's hearts because we all really enjoy getting nuked by Amon. And now Tychus wants to go and push into these two areas, and he's going to push into the right side first. Now both these crystals are safe, so when the lava surge comes up, you're not going to lose the crystals, so you're not really much in a hurry to try and, you know, get both crystals before the next lava surge comes out. So there's still plenty of time for that. There is one hybrid dominator that is reasonably upset with Tychus, and Karax will have to try and take out this one void, this hybrid dominator. I forgot what it was called. I called it the void reanimator. There's a lot of orbital strike coming out, and Karax's energy now is getting a little bit low, so he will have to try and conserve his energy a little bit. We do have a few more cannons on the way as well, and these cannons will be able to, again, one of the things is that these cannons can do is any random missiles that start moving around in this area will be able to be dealt with by these missiles, so they're not going to be attacking player spaces. But again, you can see a whole bunch of aberrations. We have Nux also added into the mix here. Nux will provide a little bit of splash damage, and there is a little small semblance of an attack wave, but again, this attack wave will end up getting killed off as well. There's now another attack wave that is coming up from Amon's base on the right hand side, and this attack wave will pretty much, I think he's going to end up wiping out all these cannons and these static defenses, because I don't think they will be able to handle this. There's also Polarity active. Yeah, all the static defense has gone. Actually, the one shield battery does end up surviving, but nothing here to power the shield battery, so Karax will have to send another probe to re-establish his static defenses, and he'll have to do that a little bit quickly. That repair beam is just doing so much work, and now that nuke is on the northern side, and it is accompanied by 5-point defense missiles, so very important to try and clean that up as quickly as possible, otherwise you will get nuked, as I have somewhere on my stream. I have another nuke coming up, and this nuke seems to be going towards Karax's base, but it's going towards Karax's main. So there's plenty of time to deal with that one nuke. Tychus is already in position, and these 3 crystals have spawned, which is somewhat unfortunate because Tychus is solo pushing, and he is the one that is clearing out the small harass units that are going to be guarding crystals. He will have to try and prioritize, and yes, he is prioritizing the right crystals. He wants to go for those ones first. Karax uses a Purifier Beam as well, so he wants to clean up his share of his units, and the Purifier Beam will do a very good job at that, and he's going to send the Purifier Beam right into Amon's base here and kill off whatever he can as well, getting any value that he can. And now those 3 crystals are ripe for the picking, so these commanders are fine. They'll go and send some more dudes to pick up these crystals, and in the meanwhile, Tychus will start pushing into this Amon base here. And remember, the Karax is running a little bit low on energy right now. He is running at only 103 energy. Solar efficiency is still at level 2. I'd like to see level 3 upgrades as well, because Karax actually does need that energy regeneration, especially because he doesn't really have any kind of map presence other than Spear of Adun and some of the random static defenses that he has available to him. So yeah, it would require him to build either a fleet beacon or a robo, but I think it's worth doing, because again, Karax is not the kind of commander that will be short on the gas, especially on the gas. Karax here is flowing a lot of resources anyway, but usually Karax will be short on minerals, not really short on the gas, and he can then utilize that to just get his level 3 Spear of Adun upgrade. So that might be a little bit beneficial. There's one random Scourge here that's still alive, and that ping marker is still there. Finally, Karax is annoyed by that ping marker and ends up killing off that last Scourge. And yeah, we have a few cannons here. They're getting a little bit of value for Karax. And remember, see here, Karax now he's putting down some more static defense, and these static defenses will just take the heat off the static defense in the main base. Now, this one is going to be a little bit tricky. Again, Tychus has made the right choice. He is pushing into the right set of crystals. That crystal is not going away because this is on high ground. And one thing that Tychus needs to do is try and take those 2 crystals that are there on the low ground. And in the meanwhile, while he's doing that, he can actually start pushing in and cleaning up and weakening the Amon base here. And once he's done that, he can go and intercept the next thing. I think there was another attack wave that moved up and ended up cleaning up the Karax structures that were on the high ground, and now the attack wave is moving towards Karax's expansion, and those static defenses are not going to be enough, especially not with the army of banelings. Oh yeah, the Kaidaran monolith goes down, and that one pylon is going to go down, or maybe not. There's a... Tychus has medevac airlifted his outlaws there, so I think all of these are Karax's units. Yeah, so Karax has to clean that up by himself. And he is very short on energy right now, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Is he needs his level 3 Spear Fadoon solar efficiency upgrade so that he can get at least a little bit of value. He does have the Robo out, so he does have the Robo Bay, but I don't know if he is getting, like, he doesn't have his level 3 upgrade yet, which is somewhat odd. He might have forgotten to research the upgrade, which is not very ideal. Yeah, nothing is there on the production, but Tychus has killed off the 2 harass, or the 2 defensive waves, I guess, that have spawned with these crystals. So they'll be able to clean up they'll be able to pick up those 3 crystals, and there is 1 nuclear missile that just managed to escape Tychus's grip. But there is an attack wave now that has started to attack and applying a little bit of pressure to Karax's base. Again, few more structures have been destroyed from that attack wave, but Tychus is already in position to help out his ally, and remember, this damage output, nothing. Tychus cannot do anything to help his ally out because that is a Polarity unit. There's another chunk of this attack wave, and it looks like a good number of them are Karax's units, but these are all Scourge, so it's not really a problem because I don't think Karax has any air units anyway. And now Tychus has actually added Blaze to the mix, which is an interesting choice. I guess Blaze would help with the chaining and does end up... He is able to slow down the enemy units that are in the attack waves with his oil spill. And what do we have on structures lost? Yeah, not really that many structures lost. The repair beam is doing a lot of work. 6 photon cannons, 4 Kaidaran monoliths, and 2 shield batteries. 5 probes, unfortunately. Those probes were kind of the ones that were pushing in. And next set... Oh, this one is a very fortunate nuclear missile. So this nuclear missile is aggroed to one of Karax's turrets. So that nuclear missile will end up getting... Even if it hits its target, it's not hitting your main base, so that is always a good thing. Tychus is going to start pushing in, and we have also the solar lance being used. This one nuclear missile is taking so much, but take a look at the impact of these point defense missiles. Karax had a lot of static defense, but no hit scan attack, so that nuclear missile did end up hitting its target because it is accompanied by 4 or 5 point defense missiles. The next nuclear missile is also on the way. This one crystal is free to be picked up. And where do we have Tychus moving in now? Tychus wants to... Oh, he wanted to try and intercept that missile, but I think he was just a little bit too late for that. We have some more shield barriers coming out, and now Tychus does end up killing off that one missile as well. What do we have in production? Yes, finally we have the level 3 Spear Fadoon solar efficiency upgrade, so this will solve Karax's energy issue. So Karax is struggling a little bit to... I'm not really sure why those shield batteries are there. There might have been this might have been a mistake. This might have... I think the intent was to have cannons over here, not shield batteries, and I think accidentally Karax ended up using a... I think he wanted to put cannons over there, not the shield batteries, because the shield batteries don't really do much unless they have some cannons or things to heal. But overall, not really much of an issue. That one crystal might end up also burning up. I don't think these commanders have realized that that one crystal is there. Yeah, so that crystal is pretty much gone, and Molten Sal has spawned, and Molten Sal will end up dying because Tychus is already in position to try and attack and kill that off. So down goes Molten Sal. Gives a little bit more fodder for... Oh, the crystal didn't need to be picked up because this is the end of the game. So there you go. Anyway, those are all the crystals done. all 20 crystals have been deposited, and that is GG.